Tennessee law in there someplace.
You weren't born in Illinois?
No, I'm born in DeKalb, Illinois.
Born in DeKalb, yeah.
I lived in DeKalb till my father passed away, as I told you, and then I came down here and I was...
Who did you live with here?
I lived with my grandparents.
Your grandparents lived
here?
here?
Yeah, Mr. in Wales.
Wales?
Yeah, Albert Wales, yeah.
Albert Wales, yeah. Now, did you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I had a brother that was going, he's in Chicago. He's passed away now, but he was going to school at University of Northwestern, and when my father got killed, he moved to back, finished his first year at Normal, and then he went back to Northwestern.
Mm-hmm.
But he used to come out here and work with my uncle in the store there.
Oh, yeah.
He passed away a couple years ago. He's 6 years older than I am.
So, but you lived here really practically all your life?
Most of my life here, yeah.
Now, you went to the school, you went to school here after you moved here?
Yeah.
Now, was that, you probably started in high school here?
No, I started along in the grades.
Oh, in grades? In grades.
About fifth grade, I just went down.
Oh, yeah.
I went to high school, that was it.
Now, where was the school when you...
Right where the old school building is,
you went to the one that was tore down? Did you go to the school that was just tore down?
They teared the new building, the old building down?
The one there on the corner...
They tore the gym down.
Yeah, I tore the gym down and tore that building. Now, that's the one you went to?
Yeah, that's the one I went to.
Yeah. Now, was the high school there, too?
That was high school and grade school both.
The whole thing there at the same time?
Yeah.
Now, who was, let's see, when you must have been there in about in the 18...
In the teens.
1918,
Yeah,
17?
yeah, someplace
Now, who was some of the teachers? You remember any teachers? Or the
God,
superintendent or maybe
I'm
at
trying to
school?
think. I don't know, the Prof man was here when I first started out, but Prof man was here for quite a few years.
Prof man is one that I hear mentioned quite a lot.
He was here all through high school and so forth, and even most of my grade years, I think, too. I just can't think of anybody who was here before that, because
I just can't remember...
who was when I first came down, I can't remember.
Remember talking about some of the teachers that were there.
Yeah, I knew...
Who were some of your classmates? Maybe
there was Ted Zimmerman.
Oh, yeah.
Roy Cossett.
Yeah.
Lloyd Graham.
Yeah.
And Bruce Harger. And Bruce Smith, she's passed away, but then there's Lyle Harger's wife here. She's Malloy. She was in the class. Bill Foster, he came, I don't know if he was in grade school or not, but he was in high school.
Yeah, well, some of them, of course, dropped. I imagine some of the farm boys went to grade school and maybe, and then didn't go to high school. They probably stayed out and farmed.
Yeah, some of them went to farm out in the country school, then came to high school.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's right. I went to one of the country schools.
Yeah, they had country schools in those days.
Then you come into high school.
Yeah.
That was, what year would you have graduated about from high school? About
1923.
You'd be the class of 23.
23.
Class of 23. Yeah. Now, did you go on to school anywhere after that?
I went to school in a short time, came back, went to work in the store.
Oh, yeah. And where did you work around here?
I went to my uncle at Remick. He was got to be postmaster, and I was to run the store while he was postmaster.
Well, Mr. Remick?
Yes.
Was postmaster?
Yeah, he's my uncle.
Oh, yeah. And he had the, it was it a kind of a ice cream parlor?
Well, ice cream and bakery. And
what all did they do there?
Well, they had confectionery stores, we know what it was. They had ice cream and candy, and they used to serve a little breakfast in the morning, and then try to make a restaurant out of it. But then they had a lot of bakery goods. They used to ship bread out of town. That bakery across the tracks, Smith building where how I lived, they built that.
Oh, the building, it's a brick building where Chuck Hawley had his business, and now I think one of the Whitaker boys is in there now.
I don't know,
but that used to be the bakery for Remick.
First had it in the basement. They used to make their own ice cream and bake in the basement.
Oh, they did that all over there?
Yeah, not the ice cream. Then they moved the bakery over there, and in those days they used to send bread to different parts of the country, you know.
Oh, they didn't bake it for just people in Earlville?
No. They had for people in Earlville, it's also Pawpaw, Harding, and Meriden.
Oh, that was
and then
how'd they get it there?
Well, they used to truck, they'd come up with wagons. First they had wagons.
Oh, horses and wagons? They'd haul bread every day?
Yeah. That's Harding they did, but then we used to ship it out on the Northwestern train.
On the train?
Yeah, we shipped that out to, and Pawpaw, when we first got a truck, we used to take our ice cream and bread up to Pawpaw.
That's quite a job.
Harry Town had a store up there, we used to supply him with his ice cream and his bakery goods.
That's quite a job.
Oh, yeah. Well, they had a 24-hour shift over there at the bakery.
Well, they worked around the clock?
Around the clock, yeah.
Around the clock.
Had different sets of meat. Some of them make pastries, and some of them would make the bread and so forth.
And what did you do there?
Well, one time I worked there, when I was going to school, I used to go and wrap bread.
Oh,
But most of the time I was working part-time. After I got out of school, I worked down at Reming's. And we used to open up about 5:30 in the morning.
oh,
And
yeah.
I hooked to get out some nights before. One time when I first came to this town, they used to turn the lights off at 12 o'clock.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they had the power plant was right across the street.
You mean the whole town went dark at
Yeah,
12
all
o'clock?
the houses did it. We had the rest of the stores uptown, yeah.
Oh,
That didn't last, I don't know how long that lasted.
well, save on electricity, yeah.
Yeah, but would make good trouble out of break-in probably, because I don't know how long that lasted. I remember they used to knock it off at 12 o'clock.
Well, did they have a night watchman or anything?
Oh, yeah.
then?
We had night watchmen.
I was wondering if there's someone around to watch that there wasn't any break-ins or anything.
No,
like that.
that man just worked this business district. That's all I worked those days.
I remember,
Police.
who was one of them? I remember John Smith. Remember John Smith?
Oh, yeah, he used
That
to be a
was one of
policeman.
them. Yeah.
Dave Large used to act as a policeman.
Dave
down there.
Large,
He had
yeah.
a, store. And detective, this other gentleman, he used to be night watchman, because when I was a kid, I used to go out and click for the night watch. Used to clear all the merchants. They all
Oh,
donate towards the night
oh,
watch.
sure.
The,
That way you paid for their protection.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
wasn't really like taxes
no,
either.
no, that was the businessman who had a night watchman. He worked around town all. He would come up and stay here practically all night long. Used to go to midnight training, come
Yeah.
back and bring some of the mail back. So,
Well, they'd come along and kind of check the stores and check
yeah,
the,
yeah, he used to check the
check the
back
back
door.
doors
They had
and the front doors.
the
And
place used to punch the clock every time, well, every hour at the bank.
well, that makes sure he's awake, I
Yeah,
suppose.
punch the clock at the bank. The bank used to be right next to Reming's.
Well, Remix was on the corner
Yeah.
where the old bank is now.
No,
The old bank store,
Yeah.
or the old bank bar. is.
Yeah, that's where Reming's was.
And then the bank was next.
Next to it, I think, if I
Yeah.
remember right.
And then I'm talking back when you were younger.
Yeah.
Then was it the Robinsons or
Robinson's
Robinson's
down a little
drugstore?
farther. We had a fellow had a shoe shop or something that repaired shoes right along there too.
Oh, yeah.
Then Jack
Yeah.
Robinson's, right where you walk across the street where the restaurant is now, there used to be an A&P store there one time, and
Yeah.
Jack's was right across the street from that, Jack
Yeah.
Robinson's drugstore.
Yeah, well, remember Jack Robinson's drug. Didn't he have an ice cream parlor in there? a little
Well,
bit,
you know,
too?
he put an ice cream fountain in later on, but he didn't keep it long.
Didn't keep it long. Yeah, yeah.
He, I think he got a little disgusted one time. He had he come into the store, he used to come to the store every day, and I had some, aspirin sitting on the counter.
Oh,
Where'd
yeah.
you get those? I said, well, the fellow came through and I bought some. I said, for people go now and they come in and call for something like that, and wasn't long after they put a fountain in, made him tea off. He didn't keep the fountain, there was too much work for Jack to put the fountain.
Yeah, he didn't want to bother with that. And then there was a post office along in
Yeah,
there.
there's a post office on the street here too.
Yeah,
Up here.
that was there for a long time. That
Oh, yeah,
post
many,
office.
many years.
Yeah, that was
Sure,
where.
they built that one down there.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then on the corner, I remember a gamble store. I don't know what else might have been there before the gamble store. I remember a gamble
Yeah,
store.
this corner here, yeah.
Yeah, on the corner.
Pratt had a store for years ago down below the basement. He started to have a grocery store down the basement.
Who was that?
Link Pratt.
Pratt.
He's George Pratt's father.
Oh, George Pratt's father.
Yeah.
Lincoln
I think
Pratt.
his name was Link Pratt.
Link
if
Pratt.
I remember
Link
right.
Pratt.
So if I might be wrong, but he was Link Pratt.
Grocery store in the
Yeah, he had a
basement.
kind of little shop down there in the basement. Then it branched out and he went down there with the, down the corner down the other end. He opened a store down there.
There were a lot of grocery stores.
Oh,
in
yeah,
town,
there were
weren't
several
See,
grocery-
across the street, there was, you mentioned the A&P store.
AP went before the AP got here, UP's had a grocery store.
Oh, that was down at the west end
Yeah, it was
of
the buildings were
Railroad.
torn down.
Railroad
That's the other
Street.
side of the street, yeah.
Yeah.
UP's had a grocery store, men's clothing store, a ladies store.
They were
They
kind
had
of,
3 stores there. That's what they had, grocery store, men's clothing store, and a ladies store.
well, 3 stores.
Yeah, all one big, you walk in from one and get inside.
From one to the other, but
Yeah.
it was like 3 different
No, 3 different doors.
buildings,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that was a big, did you ever work there then?
No, I never worked.
You
About
never
the only
worked there.
place I ever worked in this town was Reming's and down Mr. Gellamy's grocery store. My freshman year, I went down there, worked there, opened up mornings and come in after school work.
Oh, Gedamy's,
Yeah.
Mr. Gedamy. Now, Gedamy's store was on Railroad, or on Ottawa Street.
Yeah, that's right down the corner where the tavern closed up.
Oh, across from where the theater used to be.
Yeah.
Kind of on the corner,
Yeah, yeah.
where Botz's
Yeah,
Tavern
he ran
was,
that for
yeah.
many, many years.
That was Gedamy's?
Yeah, Gellamy's grocery store.
Oh, and that was general groceries?
Yeah, that was just a regular grocery store. In those days, you used to write your own orders up and stuff like that. They didn't package most of it. They didn't come with many packages like they do.
Did you ever deliver groceries around town?
The only time I did that, I helped Hank out sometimes when you get behind it. They want to get the groceries. They used to have a wagon, horse, you know, and we'd get behind one. Mr. Gibbons said, well, maybe give Hank a lift so we get the groceries in there before it's too late, supper time. to go with him sometime,
Yeah.
but I didn't have a steady job, I just rode with him sometime.
Well, a lot of the stores delivered groceries.
Oh yeah,
I
BP's had
remember.
their own set, they had, I believe Team of Mules, if I remember right, one time, and they delivered
Oh.
groceries a couple times a day.
Oh,
They had like certain hours to get your groceries in there in the evening.
now, I remember, and probably you do too, when we used to bring, we were farmers, we used to bring eggs in about every Saturday night. We'd bring what eggs we had, and the grocery stores would take the eggs. Now, did Getamy do that too?
Yeah, we did that at Genovese, and we also took the butter in, farmers would bring butter in.
Oh,
And I remember I had a job sampling some of the butter, because some people like good butter, you know, and so we set it aside for them. And others, some just come in and want to be the best in the world, they just shoot it down to the poultry house down here,
Oh,
they
yeah.
ship stuff out.
oh, yeah. They'd trade, the farmers would trade the eggs and butter for groceries.
Yeah,
then.
that's right.
Yeah.
And then we'd haul it, to be hauled, what we didn't use, we'd haul down to the poultry house, and they would, they used to pick chickens down here in the winter time.
Oh, was that Fry's?
Yeah,
Did
down
Fry
there,
have it then?
yeah.
Yeah, Fry's
Yeah,
Poultry
yeah.
House. And the farmers would bring poultry in there too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bring it in there. Chickens, they'd get fellas in town and they'd pick these chickens. The faster you work, the more money you make.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You had to stick them first so the feathers would loosen up and rough them right off.
Well, now, talking about chickens, wasn't there some meat markets in town? You mentioned when
Oh,
we were
yeah.
talking the other day about there were some meat
There's
markets in
two
town.
meat markets that didn't have anything but meat, didn't have any groceries in them.
Mhm.
There's one right across the street there, and look at just from an angle from Remy's factory.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's where the office is over there now. There's a grocery meat market there, and down the line farther was another meat market.
Well, now they'd have fresh meat there? There wasn't any frozen then, was
No,
there?
no, I don't have much frozen stuff.
So it'd have to be all
They had
fresh.
Yeah, they had ice box and keep them in there like that and go and cut.
I suppose would they do the butchering, some butchering there too then?
Well, I don't know, then they do it there, there's a place out of town, they had the town here, there's
Oh.
a butcher out there. So.
Oh, and bring the meat in?
Yeah, just out to east of town. I don't know when they brought in from someplace, maybe they bought from some other town too, I don't know. But they had meat there, and I know they used to call it a slaughterhouse right down there where the old baseball park used to be.
Oh, yeah,
It's a
yeah.
slaughterhouse out there.
Now, did they ever have fish? I wonder if they ever have fresh fish in town?
Well, I don't know about that so much with that fish or not.
It's more like beef and pork
Yeah,
and
yeah,
sausages
that's
and poultry, I suppose, and that sort of thing.
They might have some fish, but I don't remember that so much.
I was trying to think of some of the other stores around now that we might have missed. There were probably some taverns, I guess. There's always been some taverns.
Yeah, they closed up for a while, but there's usually 3 or 4 taverns in town. Well, listen, I think there's more than that one time. I think I wouldn't check the records of the town, the clerk, but I think they talked at one time about having 6 or 7 taverns.
6 or 7?
Because
Oh,
they mentioned one time they had 6 or 7 churches, and they said something, a tavern for each church.
the tavern for each church.
That kind of joke, but they had that many taverns. There was one over that other street, well, by the drugstore, there was a tavern there for a while too.
Oh, and there was one by where the bowling alley is now, I remember. There was a tavern there one time. And there was a couple across the street here on Railroad Street. Was it Michelini, I know?
Michelini had one down there, yeah.
And,
And right next to it,
Myers?
Myers had one.
Myers, yeah. And then there's probably some before then that I don't know about.
That's those two, and then there's, as I say, there's some more on the other streets there. I know there's one down here where you had to go 1 or 2 steps to get into it. I don't remember who run that. I remember one time a bunch of kids thought they'd have some fun, they'd get together, so one guy go to give them a bottle. And they all chipped in their money, was going to get a little bottle to have on the side, and they went all and knocked on the back door, and they knew the fella that had the bottle there. Yeah, he'd fix them up bottle of pop.
Oh, he fixed them up all right, bottle of pop.
Yeah, and one guy, he took a swallow, he thought he had real stuff.
Oh.
Another fellow tasted, he said, that's not liquor, that's pop. They paid a good price for their pop.
You fooled them, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't there a hotel? Now, was the hotel where it is now, or?
Notice, yeah, you could go around, you went in the front door up the hotel like that, they had a big railing around the outside, you could sit out there in the summertime.
On the outside?
Yeah.
Oh, I never remember that.
Iron,
like a balcony or
yeah,
a
it was a
porch
balcony,
kinda?
out there with iron rail in front, because I'll never forget, one time I come back from Presbyterian Church, kid going to Sunday school down there, and I had a kind of light cap on. Maybe I told you about it?
No.
Well, First I saw something hit me on the head. I looked up there, the guy been chewing the back and spit over the rim. I got it. But then
Good thing you had a cap on.
Yeah, yeah. But Ted Zimmerman, I think his folks should have had a cabin. Then they had the kind of rooms upstairs too. I think they rented.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody did that one time. I know.
And underneath it, now the hotel, did it go over the bank? I mean, there used to be a bank on the corner too.
Yeah, it was over the bank.
And it still does kind of. Only it isn't a bank now on the corner. It's that building the mayor owns.
Well, you see, that bank rental, they came in, closed both the banks up in this town. And Harold Miller and I formed a insurance agency. We were upstairs over the old bank building, or this bank.
Oh, you were upstairs over this bank.
We had, and Casey Jenner, well, first of all, we got handle some finance paper. And the company we were representing sold out to another company. We couldn't handle it through them anymore. They go over to banks. And
there was no bank in town?
No, that was both closed.
This was during the Depression, I suppose.
Casey Jenner and Ed Malley, we started selling them the papers to them. They liked the idea to have somebody bring them a check every now and then. And Harold and I didn't have any money. We just got the insurance on it. Anyway, make a long story short, why they bought that bank building after the receivers moved out. And they asked us to move downstairs. And then we opened up a money exchange and had an insurance office.
That would have been in the 30s.
Oh yeah, but I don't know just what year, but long there someplace, yeah, late 30s. Late 30s, I'd say maybe early 40s.
Well, you and Harold were in the insurance business about, when did you start that then, about Harold Miller and you?
In the 30s.
In the 30s.
Yeah.
Before, that was kind of tough time to start, right there.
Oh yeah.
During the Depression too.
Oh yeah, I started out selling life insurance most of the time. Then I had a lot of people, I'll give you some of mine runs out, but Harold had been working in the bank, and he moved upstairs, and Mr. Martin lived right down Olive Street, the big house on the corner. And he had some policies, he gave them to Harold. And went upstairs, and we were there for several years. So we got, as I say, we moved downstairs. One night after a finance meeting, we said, we incorporated the finance company, we brought in some other fellows out, directors like Bob Widener and Les Widener, and several Casey Jenner and Ed Malley, and one of the fellows is the director of the bank now, from down on Triumph.
Oh, that Davis?
Davis, he was coming. And we had, one night after one of our meetings, we ought to get a bank going. So we sent two fellows into Chicago to see what we had to do to get a bank going.
Oh.
And we come back and told us what we had to do. So the finance company said, we'll buy 75 shares. And somebody said, no, you had to buy 10 to be a director. And got enough. So then we put out in the paper we was going to have a bank. And some stock was available, but we wanted to buy it. Because we wanted to make a community bank, not a...
Yeah.
So
that must have been about 35 or 6, somewhere in there.
It must be, I had to check that, I can't tell you offhand.
Yeah, well, I remember about when it would be, yeah.
Anyway, I remember swearing the directors in, and Harold went in as the director, but he didn't want to stay, he had other things to do, he didn't want to stay, we could use the money. We got the bank going, then we moved over in the corner bank building for a while.
Oh, the present bank that you started then, it was over here? Where
it was upstairs first, then we moved downstairs.
And downstairs, and then moved over in the corner.
Corner bank for a short time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And this was more room we needed, so we got them to open the door in this next little building right next to it.
Yeah.
Where we still had spent many years on. We opened that so we could use the vault.
Well, you had an insurance office there for a long time.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
In that
That's the same,
next door building.
We used the bank vault all the time, it was there.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, they opened the door so we could go right in.
I wonder if that vault's still in there.
Oh, man, it is. They haven't torn the building down.
Must be still there, yeah.
It's a good vault.
Yeah. Well, then they moved back then across the street, the bank.
Well, my bank is open right here. We never organized a bank over there. After
Oh, I see. I see.
See, Elmer Bolts and those folks worked in that bank, and then he moved to Rochelle.
And that closed up then?
Yeah, they didn't open it. We got this bank organized, and then we moved, Harold and I moved over there.
I see. So the present bank now was organized after the bank you and Harold started closed up. Is that right?
No, this bank, when we moved downstairs, we had the finance company, we got the bank going, and that bank stayed there.
Oh, that bank stayed there? Okay,
It never moved. But this one over here never opened up again after.
Oh, I see. There was two banks
Yeah.
then.
So you had two different factions.
I see.
So they never.
Well, was that the one, wasn't Roscoe Lynn involved in?
This one right over here.
He was in this one over here. Yeah, I remember Roscoe being mentioned.
I remember Wiley was involved in the other one. Gilbert Wiley.
Oh, Mr. Wiley?
Yeah, he's involved now when he's in Elmer Boats.
I recall talking to you one time about that banks being started, and there was something about a robbery in town about that time, that the merchants were having to keep too much money in their stores, and who got robbed, or when?
Casey Jenner, that's before we formed our partnership. I was up to, well, matter of fact, they woke me up early in the morning and said, Casey, Andy Wall got me, said, Casey Jenner, broke in Casey Jenner's last night. Sometime. But what happened, Casey been up after apparently he'd been playing some cards or something after he closed up.
Oh, yeah.
And he's on his way home.
Yeah.
And he got prisoner home, and they pushed him off the side of the road.
But he had money with him, or?
No, they said, get in the car. And they took him back and made him open up the store.
Oh, these were some robbers, huh?
Yeah, they opened up the store, and they made him open up the safe.
Mm-hmm. In his store?
In his store.
Oh.
And they took quite a little money out of there, and capped the cash register. Then they took Casey off out in the country and dropped him off.
Oh, they took him out and gave him a ride,
yeah,
huh?
Always. And he cut across, and he didn't go right home. I know he married that time. Anyway, I guess he came to Rochford. Ed Rochford's, I think she used to work for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Helen used to work for it.
He came there and told her. I guess they notified the police and so
Oh,
forth.
sure.
We had some insurance on, but he didn't have any list of anything, but he lost, What they were doing, see, they were kind of acting as a bank. They were cashing a lot of checks, carrying a lot of extra money. They had to go to Mendota or Triumph or someplace. It was open.
Because there was no bank in town.
Yeah. And he had jewelry in there.
Oh, my.
And Jack Robinson, and he was doing the same thing across here.
Sure.
He said, maybe I better not have so much money on hand.
Yeah. How much money did they get, I wonder?
Oh, I don't recall the amount, but we paid him a pretty good claim, but he couldn't even itemize all the stuff. He did what he only had.
Sure. Well, I remember you saying that was one reason when you decided you needed a bank in Earlville again.
Yeah. Well, that's before he bought this building over here. Before he got this next door building. That's when he had a store. A while later, he decided we got the building, and then they wanted us to move down there. After we'd been to bank, we might have been there a year or so before we decided to have a bank.
Kind of gave you a start, though.
Oh yeah.
And you've been in business ever since in Earlville.
Yeah, in the insurance business ever since. I was in the insurance, working with my uncle down there, running the store down there, kind of a halfway partner, and till one afternoon I got a good pain in my chest, and I went over to the doctor in Savage office to go get an x-ray. I believe his name was Potter. And anyway, he said, what time you go to work? I told him. What time you quit? So I told him. He said, I could take those hours myself. He said, you get quit work this way. He said, right now.
Told you to slow down, huh?
Yeah, and he said, I gotta kick him. I got a good, dumb Norwegian friend. He said, in the insurance business, he's doing a good business. I'd like to have you meet him. He started talking insurance to me. So my brother was an attorney for Lumber's Kemper Insurance Company, and I got in touch with him, and he made a list of companies for me to contact. I went in the insurance business.
Oh.
That's how I got.
And how did you and Harold Miller kind of get together?
Well, he was upstairs, and I don't know how.
Was he in the business, insurance?
Yeah, he was a little ahead of me.
A little bit ahead of you.
Yeah.
You were both kind of separate.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we got to talking one time, or somebody did, and decided to make a partnership and deal out of it.
When it worked out pretty well.
Oh yeah, it worked out good for us. Harold's a good fellow to work with. And
you've been in town. You've been in the insurance business what, over
50 years?
Over 50 years.
Over 50 years.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, Charlie Butler, I guess named Butler. He had a pretty good age though, and then I don't know, something happened to they wanted him to talk for a while. He wanted to go out west, and he wanted to sell his agency, and he ended up giving it to Harold to run, and Harold just sent him a commission for the first year. And then so we had that on our hands. But we inherited a nice piece of business there too.
Well, your present building now. Did you and Howard Carter build it?
No, Howard wanted to build it. He built it.
Howard built it.
Howard built it.
You were across the street.
Across the street. Yeah. He wanted to take us out one night to have dinner, and I wanted to. Les Holden and my wife, and Howard and his wife went out. Then he bought up this building. So I'd like to own a building in town, and so. We agreed it's all right with us, we ought to own a building, so he had this building built. So it was torn down and built the building here.
That's made a nice new addition to the town.
Oh yeah.
Imagine you've enjoyed working here. Now,
oh yeah, quite a number of years I've been here. I don't know how long we moved here. Oh, I don't know, I should go back and tell you. I could probably get some records I could check, but I don't offhand.
I remember, one thing, well, you mentioned Leslie Ann Hoadley, now we didn't mention her, but we ought to mention her. She worked with you for a good many years, too.
She started with us across the street.
Yeah.
Very good girl.
I remember her there for years.
She was still working, but her eyes got bad, and they told her to quit working.
Now, she moved to where?
She's in Hawaii.
Hawaii?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She got a house on it.
Sold her house here and everything?
They sold this house down here, but they own the farm out there.
Oh, that's right, yeah, that's right, they own the farm, but, yeah. Let's see, another thing we haven't mentioned while we're talking is when you got married. I remember you married Gertrude Bolts.
Yeah.
Gertrude Bolts. I remember Gertrude used to work over in the MP store for one time, for a long time.
She did.
And when did you get married?
About 1940.
1940,
Yeah.
yeah. And then Gertrude passed away, what, 5 or 6 years ago? 81. Yeah. Well, do you think of anything else you'd like to add while we were reminiscing?
I can't do it offhand. It's just there's a lot of people around here probably tell you a lot more than I can. They've been here for years. I can probably get some records someplace, but as I say offhand, I can't.
Well, I think what you remember is better, really. I mean, just talking. That's what your actual reminiscences is what we're more interested in.
Yeah, I remember Dave Lodge. He had a blacksmith shop. He acted as a policeman here too, and for years he was a pretty good man.
Let's see, I remember there was a harness shop over here. Who ran the Charlie Steele run the harness shop.
Yeah. That's the tavern went in after he left there.
Oh, then Charlie went in there. Who went in there?
A tavern went in.
Oh, a tavern went in there.
Yeah. Charlie got the bunch of fire department one time was called a pop. I only had one truck here in town. Had to get permission to go, and Mary gave permission to go, and on the way up, it tipped over.
The fire department, the fire truck did?
Yeah, it tipped over, and Sam Thompson and Charlie got hurt pretty good.
Oh.
And they stayed up there quite a while in the doctor's office for weeks up there.
Oh.
Didn't go to the hospital, he just kept up there. So Charlie's up there quite a while. Yeah.
Where was the fire department? Let's see, the fire department was over in the old.
Yeah, back it used to be City Hall.
City Hall, yeah. That's torn down, isn't it? Yeah.
Had one room for one truck.
One truck. Doesn't seem like that'd be enough to cover the town, but I guess it did.
In those days, yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's been kind of nice talking to you this morning,
I hope I
Jim.
give you some good. If I think of something else, I'll be glad to get.
We kind of knew at this. We're just kind of getting started, and we wanted a good subject to
Mrs. Taylor
work
was
on.
I was trying to think of too. She might be able to add something.
Who was that?
Mrs. Taylor, Frances Taylor.
Oh, Frances Taylor.
She said, "Mom, she's 88 years old." She told me.
Frances Taylor.
And I didn't say you have to call, make an appointment with her.
Sure.
She's John Duffy's mother.
Oh yeah.
Huey Duffy.
Huey Duffy's mother. Yeah, that's
And,
right.
she might be able to give some information. She worked here, she down, but she came in 1960, I think she told me.
1960. When she
16.
16.
Yeah.
When she came to Earldom.
Yeah.
Well, we look around, we'll find some more. I think we would want to talk to Nemur Khalil and probably Ted Zimmerman and Margaret Bullock Johnson.
Ted ought to be able to give quite a lot of information. He's born in this town, as far as I know, and raised here. He's about 80 years old.
Yeah. Well, we got an appointment to meet Ted here pretty soon now, so.